And welcome back. This is Insight on Business. My name is Michael Libby. It's all powered by our advertising agency, Insight Advertising, Marketing, and Communications, brought to us by Fwirsa. Fwirsa, accounting and tax professionals that will work hard for you until the cows come home. Well, I remember back in my corporate days, it's been some time ago now, when there was a corporate-wide meeting. And roughly 150 people were there, and to listen to the president and CEO talk about being on the bus. Well, if you recall the book, From Good to Great, written by Jim Collins, it's a business book that everybody has to read, or thinks they have to read, and I would agree. They talk about this, about being on the bus. Is everybody on the bus? And kind of the switch to that whole thing is, take a look at this shot. This is we're all on the bus, kids, okay? But the question happens to be, are the people that are on the bus sitting in the right seat? I mean, you've got a driver, you might have a navigator, you've got all of those things going on the bus. And the question is, and then kind of the twist that we got this week, has to do with how good those people are that are sitting on the bus. Are the right people there, is the question. Even more solid is this: who's the bus driver? So your homework today on the bus is, if you haven't read the book, Good to Great, go ahead and get it. Jim Collins, it's a great read. The questions are this. I want you to close your office door today and do some serious thinking about this, no matter what size business you happen to be in. Who's driving your bus? Are the right people driving the bus? Is the marketing department actually in concert with the people who are buying your product or service? Are you really understanding the direction your bus is heading? Do people even want the product that you're trying to sell or the service that you're trying to sell? Who's driving the bus? And are they sitting in the right seat? I think it's a powerful thing to think about. And you even have to take a look at yourself. If you're trying to do everything on the bus, from navigation to driving, maybe you shouldn't, and there's somebody else out there that could be assistive with those things. Think. It's one of the top things that we tell businesses anywhere to do. Shut the door from time to time, quit doing so much, and take some time to think. All right, that's your homework assignment. Have you ever met a MILF? No, we're not talking about what you think we're talking about. We're talking about mothers I'd like to fit. Check it out. This is a logo from True & Company, and they've just launched this this campaign just last week, and just in time, by the way, for Mother's Day. So what is True & Company, and what in the world is all of this about? Well, True & Company is a lingerie company. You can find them all over the place. It's trueandcompany.com, and they are they fit bras for people, for women, online. I know it sounds just a little wacky, but it's an online store of women's lingerie. And so what they've done, just in time for the Mother's Day holiday, is launched a Facebook page that asks you to send in your picture of your mother as a mother I'd like to fit. We think it's kind of cool, a little edgy, not as edgy as talking goats and thugs in a lineup, but like for Mountain Dew, but it's still kind of edgy, and it's certainly got lots of people's attention. Here's another I think we have, do I have another photo? Yeah, so here's a couple of moms I'd like to fit. These obviously are from the website of True & Company, and we think it's just kind of a neat campaign. The downside, if you want to go check this out, the downside, kids, is if you Google MILF, you're probably going to not want to do that at work. It's not necessarily safe for there. All right, before we get to our guest, there's another thing that I wanted to share with you about why we use Apple products. And I think we've got a photograph here, Ryan, as well. This is a shot that I took just last week at the Jordan Creek Apple store, all right? And I want to just comment a little bit about what the experience is like. Whatever business that you have, I don't care what it is, what retail business it is, and you're selling stuff and it costs maybe more than the competition, you can't battle with price, can you? So what can you battle with? That's the question. I think there's 4 things that you battle price with. You know, if you live by price, you're going to die by price. So what do you battle with? Well, it's been my experience each and every time that I've walked into the Apple Store, and sadly this is the only Apple Store in all of Iowa, by the way, is service. First class, immediate service. You don't wander around, you don't ask for somebody. Somebody is there almost immediately to greet you at the door. Very smart people are behind this product. All right? These people know exactly what they're talking about. In my case, I had a question, and the guy says, well, 60 seconds. He had it fixed. Also, number 3, great products. It always works. My cell phone always works. It never fails. And so, you know, our computers, they don't go down. They just work all the time. And finally, of the 4 things, you can't battle with price if your product costs more. So what do you battle with? Well, the 4th thing is just like the first thing. Unparalleled, excellent service. Come back to this picture for just a minute. I want to share something with you. The fellow that's standing at the table, I was overhearing his conversation relative to talking about the iPad. And he gave such a great performance talking about the iPad that I just had to listen in. He wasn't selling as much as he was attempting to work with the woman that he was talking to. He asked her more questions than what he shared with her of his knowledge. And each and every station in the Apple Store, that kind of conversation was going on. The person would ask a question, the salesperson would ask a question to answer the question, and then go through some demonstration process. I got to tell you, you know, I don't care what it is that you're selling, what product or service that it is that you're selling. If you are selling with service number 1, you're going to win the day. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to put Dan Halstead in the chair. We're going to be talking about his brand new business. He's only had this for 3 months. He's readjusted his career, and all of these things aren't necessarily easy to do. Dan Halstead in the chair when we come back. This is Insight on Business. We're powered by our advertising agency, Insight Advertising, Marketing, and Communications, brought to you by FWRSA and seen live each Monday at 8:45 on Webcast One Live, or back on the web whenever you want on your time. Back right after this.